Yeah, obviously we're super excited for the season to start. And then the opening game, you get to play an SEC team, which we have not done since we lost to Mississippi State back in the Tropicana Bowl back, I think it was 16. So we've only played one SEC team since I've been here in 8 years. So the opportunity to play Saturday night, SEC team on the road, quite an opportunity. Quite. It'll be thrilling for everybody involved, players, fans. I know the kids are excited. Our preparation has been really good. We know the task ahead of us. They're a really good team, probably the best Kentucky team. They're saying maybe, ever. They were really good a year ago, won 10 games, beat Iowa in a bowl game. Their strengths are obvious. Coach Stoops is a defensive guy. They have a defensive mindset. They played tremendous defense a year ago. They run and hit. They fly around. They create turnovers. They get after the quarterback. They're close space on defense like every great defense does. They're really sound. They're really physical. Offensively, their quarterback, people are talking about he's going to be a number, first-round draft pick a year from now. He's everything. Obviously, the NFL guys are looking for. He's big and strong, 6'4", 235. We've got a whole cut-up of him running over SEC linebackers when he scrambles or design runs. So he is a huge run threat. That's not really why the NFL likes him. The NFL likes him because he can throw a post route about 75 yards in the air right on the money. So he's got this big, strong arm. They were really physical in running the ball a year ago. They'll be really physical, and they'll run the ball again. That's who they are. They do a great job with their play-action games. They do a nice job with their RPO games. They do a nice job with their movement. So you can tell it's a Coach Stoops coach football team. He's built it the right way. They've done a really good job recruiting. They got a lot of Ohio kids. They've hurt our league with all their Ohio recruiting before he got there. They didn't recruit Ohio like they did. But they've got a lot of talented kids from Ohio, so it's a great challenge, great opener. We've played a lot of games like this. They're exciting, they're fun. It's a great opportunity. Offensively for us, obviously we feel good with our experience. You got 9 starters back. You got Bester and Tyree back, who are going to add. Obviously, were tremendous players for us back in 19 before they both got hurt. Haven't really played much the last 2 years. So we're excited about our offensive line. We're excited about our receivers. We're excited about our running backs, tight ends, quarterbacks. We feel like, we've been young on offense the last couple of years, and now we've grown in the time where we've got a lot of guys that played a lot of football for us. Defensively, obviously it was changing in the guard. We lost a lot of guys. We're excited about the group. We have a lot of new faces. There'll be a lot of, Bake will call a lot of new names Saturday night. Obviously, McWood and Salopeka, linebacker with Quez, gives us 3 guys that we feel really good about. Obviously, Earl Collier and Kobe Hilton inside have played a lot of football. So those 6 guys in the middle of our defense have played a lot of football. Obviously, we feel good about John Saunders as a one corner. Really played good for us. Didn't play a ton for us a year ago, but when he was in there, he played really good football. And then our DNs will be a whole new cast of guys, and the whole back end of our defense will be a whole new cast of guys. So we're going to play a lot of guys. There's going to be a lot of guys that have opportunities to play. There's still some jobs to be won on the defensive side of the ball, particularly at the safeties in the nickel positions. See who, and like I've told them, you're going to get an opportunity, and you'll see when the lights go on. Like, practice is great. And practice is important, and practice prepares you for the game, but the game is a game. So a lot of these young guys on defense, or maybe not young but inexperienced in some cases, we're going to see when the lights go on at Kentucky. It's Saturday night SEC, and the first flying, and their quarterback's bigger than everybody on our defense besides our probably nose guard, and they've got skill, and they got size, and their whole line blocks out the sun. And is that something that you're going to have an appetite for, or is that something that maybe, I'm not so sure I'm cut out for this? And you won't know until the guy gets in that arena. All right, and maybe they know right now, but I won't know until they get in the arena. Maybe they know they can't wait to get in that arena. So we always talk about when Brett was a freshman, his first game was at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa, and you don't know. Brett had a great fall camp, but you don't know until we thought we knew, but you knew that day that he loved being out there. So we got a lot of defensive guys who are going to get that moment that first taste of college football, and it'll be really adverse, intense, exciting conditions, and to see how they handle it, will be interesting and exciting for us.
You just talked about it, Coach, and Austin Ertl was in here talking a little bit about, how it is to play an SEC school or a Big Ten school or, one of those schools, and coming to the MAC. For those young guys, Austin talked about it. He got thrown into it against Iowa, and I remember you telling me about it. That's an experience you can't duplicate anywhere else.
No, and again, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process of becoming a college football player. It's different than high school. And if you're at this level of college football, you're pretty darn good in high school. And a lot of times in high school, you probably were physically dominant over your opponent. So not only were you a good football player, but you had an advantage. And now you get to this level, you don't have an advantage. Then if your first taste is like Austin had against Iowa, or these kids will have against Kentucky, they probably won't have a physical advantage. It'll probably be a physical disadvantage. So you add all that in, and then you say, okay, you're up against it physically. Now it comes down to how prepared are you mentally, how much do you know what you're doing, how much can you rely on your techniques, and how hard are you going to play, and how hard are you going to strain, and because some of the things will be up against you. So you got to make up for it with playing with incredible passion, playing with incredible desire, and playing with your brain. You better be where you're supposed to be, because, Kentucky's skill guys on both sides of the ball get from point A to point B quicker than MAC guys. That's a fact. So if you make a mistake, it's going to get magnified. So you have to be on your business all the time. If not, you see the tapes, from a year ago when they throw a lot of deep balls, and when they played the non-SEC games, they just kept throwing the ball over people's heads. Like, that's what they did. And again, not because people weren't in position, but not used to the speed of somebody coming by you that fast. And next thing you know, he's by you, and their quarterback can throw it 60 yards, and it's over. So you have to be on point with everything mentally to give yourself a chance.
Coach, you've been doing this a long time. Like, what about you? Do you still get excited for the season openers, or you just try to keep it kind of mellow?
Yeah, no, we're all get excited. We love football, so we love football season. Off season's fine, but we get a lot of work done. I love the preparation. I love the process. I love the journey. I'm excited for a lot of our newer guys. They got to have this moment, good or bad. And there's going to be some guys that have some good moments, and they never look back. The Quez Warren, the Brett Gabrick, the Austin Ertls are going to have those moments, and they're going to realize, hey, I was fine. I can do this. There's going to be other kids that don't have great first moments, and that's just part of it. That doesn't mean they're not going to have great careers. How they react to it, and how they learn from it, and there'll be guys that won't prepare as hard as they need to prepare this week because they don't know what they're getting into. They think they know. They think, hey, I'm gonna go, do my thing. There'll be other guys that prepare really hard and want it too much, and put undue stress on themselves and want to be too perfect and outthink certain situations, because there's a fine line between run around like chicken with your head cut off, which some of our guys will probably do at times Saturday. They do in practice every day, and trying to be too perfect and too on point and not playing the game. And the good players find that balance of, okay, here's how I play the game within the framework of our offense, defense, and special teams.
With so many unknowns, do you guys coach any differently? Do you try to prepare differently for the first game? Has anything changed with any of that?
No, I mean, we're trying to help the inexperienced guys at least understand, like, this. Everything's got to be ratcheted up from your focus, your intensity, your film watch. It's not like high school. But other than that, we're preparing like we always prepare. One of the strengths of what we do in our program is our consistency. Like, we're good at plodding along, and we certainly enjoy the great moments, and every victory and everything we do successful, whether it just be an individual had a good day, but we move on from the great moments, and we try to say, okay, now how can we continue to build from, hey, that was a great start, but how, and then, from the bad moments when we have, whether it be a play, a series, a game, we're gonna keep learning and getting better, and that's the consistency of what we do, and that's what we try to tell kids, like, is there a little more intensity, is there a little more excitement this week? That's natural, but if we're way different than we've been, then those young kids are going to be even more frazzled and more, I'm just trying to say, like, this is how you prepare to be successful. It doesn't matter if it's Kentucky or a MAC school. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter SEC Saturday night or a home game against Robert Morris. It's the same preparation will allow you to have the most success that your God-given ability will allow you to have, and then, the competitiveness and building up to trying to get our kids fresh to build up so that we have everything in our tank to play hard on Saturday night. That's the goal.